6 major mistakes that led to the Titanic disaster. The sinking of the RMS Titanic on April 15, 1912, remains one of the most tragic and studied maritime disasters in history. It serves as a cautionary tale of overconfidence, flawed decisions, and engineering misjudgments. Here, we'll explore 6 significant mistakes that contributed to the sinking of the Unsinkable ship and the loss of over 1,500 lives. 1. Ignoring iceberg warnings. One of the biggest oversights leading to the disaster was the failure to heed multiple iceberg warnings. Throughout the day of April 14th, Titanic's wireless operators received at least 6 warnings from nearby ships about icebergs in the area. However, the operators were primarily focused on handling passenger messages, as the ship's communication system was viewed more as a luxury service than a safety feature. Many of the iceberg warnings were not delivered to Captain Edward Smith, or if they were not treated with the urgency required. 2. Excessive speed in dangerous waters. The Titanic was traveling at nearly full speed, around 22.5 knots, despite the known risks of ice in the North Atlantic. The desire to arrive early, driven by competitive pressure, may have influenced Captain Smith's decision to maintain speed. The White Star Line, which owned Titanic, wanted to create a buzz around the maiden voyage and demonstrate the ship's impressive capabilities. Unfortunately, this decision reduced the crew's reaction time and contributed to the collision. 3. Insufficient lifeboats. A glaring error in Titanic's design and safety planning was the limited number of lifeboats. Although Titanic carried 20 lifeboats, enough for only about 1,178 passengers and crew, the ship's capacity was over 2,200. At the time, regulations allowed such limited lifeboats due to outdated maritime laws based on ship tonnage rather than passenger capacity. However, designers thought the vessel's advanced engineering and watertight compartments rendered lifeboats largely unnecessary, further showcasing a dangerous overconfidence. 4. Faulty rivets and weak steel. The Titanic was a marvel of engineering, but certain materials used in its construction may have compromised its structural integrity. Some experts believe that the ship's rivets, the bolts holding steel plates together, were of lower quality, leading to a weaker hull. When the Titanic hit the iceberg, these brittle rivets may have popped, allowing water to flood in quickly. Additionally, the steel used in Titanic's hull became brittle in the cold North Atlantic waters, which could have worsened the damage upon impact. 5. Ineffective emergency evacuation procedures. The evacuation process aboard the Titanic was chaotic and poorly managed. Many lifeboats were launched only partially filled, as there was no clear communication about the severity of the situation. Crew members lacked adequate training in evacuation protocols, which led to confusion and inefficiency. Passengers were also initially unaware of the true danger, with many reluctant to leave the unsinkable ship. This lack of preparedness and training cost hundreds of lives that might have been saved with better procedures. 6. Overconfidence in unsinkable design. The belief that the Titanic was unsinkable influenced many decisions, from ship design to safety measures. The ship's advanced safety features, such as 16 watertight compartments, were intended to prevent the vessel from sinking. However, the compartment's walls did not extend high enough, allowing water to spill over from one to the next after the iceberg breached the first 5 compartments. The misplaced confidence in Titanic's design led the builders and crew to underestimate the potential consequences of a disaster, further compounding the tragedy. Conclusion: the Titanic's sinking was not due to a single catastrophic mistake, but rather a series of errors driven by overconfidence, technological flaws, and poor planning. Each of these mistakes contributed to one of the deadliest maritime tragedies in history. This disaster serves as a somber reminder of the importance of respecting nature, valuing human life over competition, and ensuring that safety always takes precedence over reputation and luxury.